Hi again, it's Greg Hughes from 90-Second Website Builder. In this tutorial, I want to talk to you about the rollover tools. There's a couple of them, a rollover image tool and a rollover text tool. They do similar things, but I think you'll find a lot of use for these great features. So a rollover image, what's that? Well, it's a lot like the image tool, except it involves two images. So the image tool, the standard image tool, of course, is just this tool right here. We would draw a box and locate an image and put it on our website. Well, the rollover image tool is very similar. We just grab the rollover image tool, draw a box, look for an image, and put it on our website. However, there's our little image. When you double click on this rollover image, properties comes up, and you'll see the one thing that's different is it gives us the opportunity to add a second image to this particular tool. Now, why a second image? Well, because a rollover image is an image that shows another image when the user rolls their mouse over it. So we need to pick a second image. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go find another image, and the first one was this gray button. Now I'm going to use one that's a little bit different. It's just green, same size, same shape and everything, and click OK, or rather click Open. And now I've added two images to my rollover image. Click OK. And it's ready to go. Now, you can't test it in design mode. This is something that you have to preview so that you can see what it looks like in a browser and give it a little test. I'm going to put mine over here because I want to use it as a bullet point here for this website. Now, I'm going to click F5 because F5 brings up preview, so I can preview this in a browser. There you can see my website. There's my little button. Now, remember, it's a rollover image, so when I roll my mouse over it, the other image shows, giving the illusion that I've got a little button that lights up. So that's kind of cool. Really simple tool. So to make a rollover image, you just need two images. It's important to know that when you use the rollover image tool, the second image you choose is going to be automatically reduced in size or enlarged in size, whatever the case may be, to the original image. I'll show you what I mean. Let's make another one. Here's a rollover image. Going to find an image. Let's find one that looks like this. Okay, so this is a really big image. And then I'm going to go get another image, but we're going to get a small one. Let's get this small image. You saw how small that was. And so this isn't going to look very good because you wouldn't want to do this way. But I want to show you what happens when you pick two images that are so different in size. I'm going to click F5. And now you'll see when I roll over this image, the gray button shows, but it's been enlarged to match the size of the first image, which makes it ugly and pixelated. So you want to be careful about the images that you choose to roll over, to be kind of paired up. So what I've done is I usually find some buttons that are the same size or slightly different in color, or one might be outlined. So it gives the illusion that the button is being interacted with or pressed upon when clicked on. So you want to plan out how you use the rollover image just a little bit. Okay, so let's get rid of this. This is an ugly one, and I'm going to delete it. I want the same effect down here. I don't have to keep remaking them. I can just do a copy and paste and put that one here. And this will also be a rollover image. It's picked up all the attributes. Paste another one, put it down here. Paste another one and put it down here. And paste another one and put it down here. You can see they're all kind of crooked. I'll show you how to line those up later. But let's go F5, and you can see I've got all these kind of lit up buttons, just simple rollover image. Okay, so we'll leave those crooked for now. Going to straighten those out a little bit later. I want to show you the other rollover tool. It's actually called Rollover Text, although it still involves the use of an image. I'm going to scroll the website down here. We're going to work in this white area. And I'm going to take the Rollover Text tool. It's a little bit more involved, but it is a great effect. So I'm going to draw a box, and I'm going to get an image. Here's an image called 5 snowballs. And we'll put it here next to our snowball factor paragraph. What happens when you roll over a rollover text image is instead of a second image showing, some text will show. So let me show you what happens by default. I'm going to click F5, and here's our image. I'm going to roll over it, and you can see that some text is showing up. We haven't decided what we want that text to look like yet, so we're going to go edit it here in a minute, but you can see what happens. As I roll over, I get a little piece of text, which is great. Okay, I have pre-made one. I'm going to delete this image, go get one that I made earlier before I turned on the video. Right here. Here is my rollover text image. I'm going to hit F5, show you what happens when I roll over it, and there's my text. So let me show you how I edited this, because I have full control over what this text looks like. Not only what it says, but I have control over how big it is, the color of the background. You'll notice this background is a little bit transparent. I have control over that transparency or opacity. I have control over how far apart the title is from the text, how far apart the text is from this link, if there even is going to be a link, what color all this text is. I have control over everything here just by simply editing these attributes. So let me show you where that is. Okay, I'm going to close the preview. I'm going to double click on my rollover text image where you can see I've set it up. So I chose the image right here. You saw the 5 snowballs. Here's the title. I put that right in here. I wrote a little description. That's the second part. And then the link text is where I had the learn more part. Okay. Under style, I can decide everything about how the text is going to look, how it's going to align, center, left, right. I can decide on the color of the background. I kept it black, and I had the opacity be about 60%. Remember, it's sort of transparent. Well, I can change that here. The padding and the spacing are really important. Let me show you what they do. I'm going to set this at 0 and set this at 0 so you can see what happens if we don't adjust the padding and spacing. I'm going to click OK. Go F5. Scroll down here. Let's see what happens when we roll over it. See, so it's a little bit tight. I've got this big black area, but my text is just kind of squished against the edge of the image. And so that's what the padding and the spacing helps me do. The padding helps me decide how much space I'm going to have around the edges, and then the spacing helps me decide how much space there is between the title and the hyperlink down here. So let's go back and edit that. And in my case, I set it at 50. So let's just make that one change so you can see the difference. So this is the padding now. I'm going to hit F5 to test it. So you can see I have 50 for padding. That's what all of this is here. So there's a lot of padding right here. In fact, 50 pixels of it. But there's not a lot of space between the title and the text itself here or the link. So I want to spread that out just a little bit. So I'm going to double click, go back to style, and let's make this be, I had it at 5, but let's make it about 10. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, I'm going to hit F5 to test it. Going to roll over our image. There we go. So you can see now there's space between the title, the description, and then of course here's the link. Okay, so now you can see at least some of the things you can change. You have control, of course, over everything else. You also can change the font, of course, what color that font is, the size, the boldness. That's the font for the title. You can do the same thing for the font for the description, and of course the font for the link, whether you want that link to show as an underline. You can even have a border around your text box if you want to. It can be any kind of border, dotted, dashed, solid, different colors, different widths. I didn't use a border. And of course, where you have the link, which is what this is just the text for the link. Of course, you can decide what this links to. Well, you go up here to the tab, and you can create a link to a page in the project or a page to an external address if you want to, and that's where that link will go. So that's basically how you use the Rollover Text tool. It's a really, really handy way to make interactivity for your website. So between the Rollover Text tool and the Rollover Image tool, you'll be able to add just a little bit more pizzazz to your website that you're building with 90-second website builder.